Hello, I'm Braden of the cEDH cast. We are a podcast that produces content for the format of cEDH. Usually, we're producing content about the actual format, like the gameplay aspect of Magic, but today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the product side of Magic. So, the physical things that you're buying, the sleeves, the deck boxes, and what I'm going to be talking about today are the products that I support and I use on my own decks. Now, we just got our TCG Player affiliate link, and I thought something interesting we could do with that, the just idea that popped off in my head, was talk about some of the things I use that are available on TCG Player. I'm going to be discussing a deck box at some point that I'm pretty sure isn't on TCG Player, but it's so good that I'm going to talk about it anyway. So the first product we're going to be discussing is the outer sleeves of your cEDH deck. So I'm going to be discussing katanas. Now, katanas are actually pretty affordable. They're about $10 a box. It's about 10 cents a sleeve. And when you're protecting a deck worth thousands of dollars, like many cEDH decks are, that's a pretty good rate. I'd probably, if someone could guarantee my cards are safe, I'd probably pay even more money than that. And I guess that's why I double sleeve. So I'm going to go into detail on this one in a bit, but I just want to cover the other main product of this video before we get started. And they are Dragon Shield Sealables. Dragon Shield Sealables are also pretty affordable. These are $5.99 at my local LGS. Not sure what the MSRP is on that one. But what these allow you to do is you can seal your cards in the sealables. And so I'm going to demonstrate that in just a bit, but I just want to show these off at first before we go into a deep dive. Now, one thing I did want to mention is that I think you have to double sleeve a cEDH deck. I don't really think it's an option. I think it improves your shuffle feel, it protects your cards, and I think people are going to get like side-eyed to you a bit if you're not at least double sleeving your real cards. Now, if you're playing with mostly proxies, I understand why you wouldn't want to double sleeve your proxies. That makes a lot of sense to me. But for the most part, in our community, I think double sleeving is pretty widely accepted. It's not as much of the hot topic that it might have been, 7 years ago. It's pretty widely accepted at this point. All right, so first things first, I'm going to show you what sealing your cards actually looks like. It might sound like a bit of a weird process. So first, I'm going to take one of the cards I already have in a sealable out of the sleeve. You just pull it out, just like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the card and put it in so that the flappy end is going this way. And then you're going to take the flap onto the magic back side, and you're going to kind of just fold it in like so, and then slide it in. As you slide it in, you're going to see that eventually does like this little loop thing, and you just kind of fix that out. And now your card is sealed. That's all it takes. It's not very challenging. It does add quite a bit of extra time over the course of a night of sleeving, but it's worth it because when combined with the proper outer sleeve, you actually get a perfectly sealable, waterproof, although not genuinely waterproof, basically waterproof seal, which is pretty valuable. I mean, like, I don't know where I live really close to a river. Worst case scenario, there could be a flood, and I just like knowing that even in that worst case scenario, there's a chance that my cards might survive. So that is the sealable. Now I'm going to take a look at one of the katanas that I currently have right here. So this is a Priest of Titania. I'm going to unsleeve it real quick. It's not very hard. You'll see like it just adds a couple seconds to the process. So all right, I got my two sleeves and my Priest of Titania. So I do the process like I talked about. Slide the card in, take the flap over the back, put it in. Sometimes I use my finger like this just to make it easier. And then, just like any other card sleeve, you just... All right, there you go. And now one thing you might notice, once you do this in person, it's a little hard to tell over video, is that there really isn't a bubble anymore. So where you normally would have a bubble, like a very thick amount of air within the card, with the sealable, it seems to just prevent that from happening, which I actually really like because it means that your deck is more playable immediately. Where sometimes after you double sleeve, you gotta press it down on it a few times before you can actually shuffle your deck. Where that is a problem sometimes when you have a freshly double sleeved or freshly sealed deck. But with these, it's slightly less of a problem. So I see that as an upside. Now, there are some problems with double sleeving your deck or even sealing up your deck in this method. It's like 2.5 sleeving, double and a half. Is that you find that your deck doesn't fit into deck boxes as consistently as it used to. So most deck boxes designed in the last 3 or 4 years are designed for double sleeving commander decks after the format exploded and double sealing became so much more popular thanks to Clarion Community College. So I'm going to show you some deck boxes that don't work. So here you have this. This is the Chroma Ultimate Guard deck box. It pops open like this. Nope, doesn't work. All right. We also have the Dragon Shield clear plastic deck boxes. These are kind of cheap. They sometimes come with sleeves. They pop open like so. Yeah, these don't work either. All right. Now, the one that I'm most frustrated that don't work, and I've heard people discuss that it works, but to be honest, I would not feel comfortable putting my deck worth thousands of dollars into a boulder. Yes, it's a boulder. So one moment, I'm just going to crack this open. So you have the boulder like this. I found that it just does not even come close to fitting. Some people tell me it does. Maybe they don't have foils. I don't know. I'm like a cEDH player. I'm going to foil my decks. So yeah, I'm going to close this, pop this one closed real quick around the table so it doesn't make a ton of noise. All right. Yep. So this doesn't work, and that's kind of frustrating because those are some of the popular deck boxes. Basically, any deck box designed for Commander is not going to work. So what are you going to do? Well, what I found is I was talking to a vendor at Command Fest DC about this problem, and they worked with Dex Protection, and they offered me this deck box, which I forget the name of because I didn't even buy it online. I just got it at the event from the vendor. But it's a deck box that holds 120 sleeves, plus it has a dice tray, which you can just use to hold even more Commander goodies. So I have my Yuriko deck in here, so medium green is in here. All the cards that aren't medium green but are in Yuriko, right here. Some of them are sleeved up, some of them aren't, depending on if they're like weird sideboard cards, like Pongify. I might play Pongify medium greens at some point, so it's still sleeved up, or Sensei's Divining Top, cards like that. So, yeah, it's a Dex Protection deck box. You can see the logo right there. I love this deck box. Now, there are some problems. Listen to this. Yeah, that's the deck moving around. That's not great. And that's because the deck is supposed to hold 120 cards, but you'll notice that these cards have been in these are almost 6-month-old sleeves because I haven't been playing very much lately in paper. And there's some room, but it's not enough. It's not enough to go into another deck box. You can tell. I mean, look at this. This is a chunky boy. So that's not going to work in a normal deck box. But it will work in this Dex Protection box. I'm going to look it up and try to do some researching to find what exactly the name of this deck box is, and I'm going to leave it in the description, along with the links to the TCG Player links for the sealables and the katanas, because those are both. All three of these are key, I think, to getting the best out of your paper experience as a cEDH player. So, and I actually have one more deck box I didn't mention that I will bring up. Is if you've ever seen these Vault sealable deck boxes, these also don't work. Now they're very close. I mean, it is very close, but again, I wouldn't trust it. There is some weird stuff going on the inside of this box. You can kind of see there's like a little bit of locking mechanism. No, I don't want to risk it. The Dex Protection box just looks so pretty, and it fits perfectly. And I guess I shouldn't say perfectly. It fits much better than any other deck box that's offered. Now, I've heard rumors of some people who triple sleeve their decks using a flip-in tray, which is a Ultimate Guard product. I will say I don't like it. The idea, and this might be a little just me. I don't like the idea of like having to pick up my deck in two parts. I like that like when I put my deck in the back box, it's all in the same spot. I can see it. When I pull out my deck, I can just take it out. I don't like the idea of like, I pop this open or spread this open, or I just want to have my deck in my hand. So I like this deck box a lot. And additionally, if you aren't sideboarding into different cEDH strategies, you do have like a really nice dice tray there that's pretty easy to use. Has a lot of room. I mean, I'm fitting like maybe 30 or 40 cards right now in there, so definitely quite a bit of room. So if that's something you're interested, I hope you guys check out the links in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's something that we haven't quite done before but I hope we have more opportunities to do stuff like this. Now, if you haven't checked out our TCG Player affiliate link, you should check that out in the description. Once you click on that, any purchases you make will kick back and come right back to us, some amount, and it'll help support the show and make sure that we can do more interesting videos like this using the equipment that you guys have helped us afford. This microphone, this webcam, it's all because of you guys. So without you, we wouldn't be able to do quite a lot of this. So thanks, and if you're interested in supporting us by using the TCG Player affiliate link, we really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for checking this out.